Welcome to KD Custom Woodworking. I'm Kevin Dunphy. We got a good one today, a table, but not just any table. This table has reversible edge that goes around and stops things from sliding. Now, how did I come up with this? I'll show you step by step how I made this, and it's a cool thing. Even if you're not going to use it as a flip table, you could still use it for anything. If you're doing a boardroom table and you want that statement edge and you want to use veneer, because if you're not using veneers and you're not used to them, veneers are insane. You'll see when we match that you can't get that with solid wood, and that's why a lot of guys love veneers. And right here, I have to laminate 2 sheets of plywood. I'm using the Gorilla spray glue, and you spray both sides and laminate it. It was kind of like being a little lazy. It wasn't critical, and I figured, okay, well, I'll do that, and I didn't want to use any mechanical fasteners or glue. It's a little harder to get hold downs when you got 8-foot sheets, but I do regret using that stuff. I had trouble. It didn't work as advertised, and I would not do it again in a million years with the spray can. But I'll show you the next spray can. It was from the company. I used to use a lot of laminate on both its sides, everything else. God knows how many canisters I went with their product. But because I was just doing 3 small tables, they had a spray can. And it kind of comes out like almost like a string, like that string spray. And, you just kind of spray it around. And there again, I thought I was saving on a small job. It would have been okay if I cut the veneer down beforehand, but I didn't cut it down because I want to use the leftover for my light valances on the old house. So I was trying to be, productive and saving time. That turned into really a pain too. I think I just suck it up next time. Spend the $400 and get a full canister. It's like a propane tank, and you can also get them bigger, and you won't have an issue. It's paperback, the veneer. If you saw the other video, and I didn't use paperback, and I just used special wood glue on small one. I would do it small, yes, but on bigger ones, it's hard to handle. And if you get a wrinkle and you don't get it held down properly, it can be a real nightmare. Here I'm just putting sticks, and I use lots of them, because if it touches, it's basically totally useless. So I'm being extra careful here, because that sheet is like over $200. So I don't want to make a mistake with this. And, then you're dealing with 2 sheets of plywood, and next thing you know, you're up to $600. And I'm just kind of going in the middle and not really pressing on the edges a bit. What I love about the paperback, it's way stiffer than the regular one. You wouldn't be able to handle it like this. It'd be a lot harder. So that's what I did. And I'm just taking a roll down, just pushing it there, just kind of coming on the outside. It grabs pretty decent. I'm not touching the ends there. I'm just trying to make sure that there's no ripples or anything like that and get it out. That's the only thing with contact, though. If you have a ripple, you're in trouble. You can repair it and hide it, and nobody would know. But it's that's the thing, is make sure that your material is stiff. If it's too thin, if you're like tissue paper or something too thin, I wouldn't try it with contact cement. So that's the art in the veneer, is getting it down. Now, planing the white oak for the edges, and handled pretty decent. It was really fantastic lumber. It was from Quebec. They have a really good plant. I'm really liking their wood. It came out really nice. And now this, the CNC. We're going to dive into that and show what am I doing here. This was the only way really I could machine it and have those nice round edges and just everything to drop in, because there's no room for error with this table. It has to be exact, and I mean exact. How I did this in Aspire, and some of the DIYers are saying, "Oh God, I don't need to learn this." Yes, you do. If you can learn this and even take out what they call DXF files and send somebody with a CNC, you can get that table made no problem whatsoever. And if you're doing a higher end coach, like a bus or something like that, they would love a table like this. They would kill for it to be able to flip it if they're on rough roads or going up hills and not worrying about their drink sliding down. So let's see how I did this. So this is the where I am with the mouse. This is the walnut part. From here to here will be the white oak, the edge. So they become slightly different. This is where the confusion can set in. So right here, I'm going to do the first area clearance, like that groove you see in the walnut right around. Now I'm going here on the inside, and here. You see it didn't light up? Now I'm going to show you something in 1 sec. Okay, I'm going to pin this here so I can give myself a little room. Let's take a little room and push shift. I got that one highlighted, and I got that one highlighted. It's important to understand why there's like a little over a 16th here and a little over a 16th here. This is to allow a little gap between the walnut and table itself. You don't want this exact size or it'll be a total nightmare. And it's very easy to do. But let's go here. Let's calculate. Let's get on top here. So I got it set for 3/4 of an inch, which is 0.75. Now here, I'm going end mill. 1/2 inch is decent. I like working with it. I'm really babying it on there. I don't want any tear out. I want it smooth. I'm only going 1/8 of an inch, but I could easily put that up a bit. You know, I can go 1 second and see what I did here. 2 dots. Don't ever do that. You'll find out. That would only drop less than the 64th of an inch. Okay, so there we go. I'm going a little less than 1/4 inch at a time. Click apply. Okay, so that's my bit. Then I calculate. All right, then really did it right here. So you can see I'm highlighted. Now to tell if you did it right, this is very simple. See the pocket? Click there. And there we are. So that'll be a half inch from this side in and this side in, and then the rest just clears it out. And that's really it. Now I'm going to hide that one. Now I got to cut the table on the outside. So now this is where you can kind of screw up a bit on this. So my table, I want to here. This is where the table goes. This is the outside. So there you just click profile. You go on the cut depth. Well, I got 1.5 inches because I got 2 sheets of plywood. It's going through, and then I'm on the outside. There's no ramping. I'm going climb. Is it better? You can go conventional, which is really left to right. I find I have clean cuts like that. So now I did calculate. I'm going to go into 2D view, and right here you're going to see it highlighted. So let's unhighlight it and highlight. So I'm on the outside, and this is all crap that I tried it, tested, and everything else beforehand. And that's about it on that. And then you save. You can save 2 of these, and you could actually run them at the same time because they're 1/2 inch bit. I'm more of a chicken on that. And I'm saving it to my shop bot. All here, like look at this, any CNC that you So if you subbed it out and you wanted this cut, You could send it to any of these. And the nice thing too, which is kind of cool, export. See right there, that magic word? DFX. Once you have DXF, this is a language that you can talk about. And same thing if you're a designer and you want to deal with a cabinet shop and you want to do something like this. You do this, then you're talking the same language, not drawing pretty pictures and things like that. And the same with DIYers. Up your game if you want to start building tables like this. It's not that hard. Just sit the weekend. So that's it for that. On this one, this was the template with the holes. And if you see right here, that's a 1/4 inch hole. There was an easier way to do it, to set it in the middle with the expire. I like doing this because I know that this is equal. And I just put little boxes there, and then that'll be the hole that'll, I'll trace out. And then right here, ungroup from original layer. I did that so it wouldn't move. Now I got my one. And that's all there is to it, really. And I'll show one more thing here. Okay, so it looks pretty fancy, those tables, eh? Now I'm going to show right here. It's the beauty of it. You can take this out of the way. I'm going to unclick this because it's just showing the tool path. And right here. Okay, so I want my table right about here. So let's say I'm doing a 48 inch by 32. Oops, not 362, 32. And click apply. That's it. Now I want to raise the external. It shows you right here. On the inside, I did 0.5. Apply. Now I got a crisp one. Now close. Now when I have this, now I can do an offset. Transform. My offset's right here. I'm kind of fumbling a bit. Offset outward. And distance. It's 1/8 of an inch right here, but just for offset. So I'm going to go 2 inches. And look at that. I have my round over. I have that. I have the building of this. And then what's cool about it, you could take this, and if you want that groove on the inside, then you can go inward. And let's say, I don't know, it's 3/4 of an inch. So I can go 0.75 inward. And this is exact as we go in. And then there's my table right there. 1 and 2. And if I'm not good on this one, I can adjust it. It'll take a little playing around. And that's how I did it. If you could do it without the CNC, but you'd have a world of hurt. Okay, so that's it. Practice, practice, and practice. Sorry about the background. The furnace is going. I can't stop. I can't turn the furnace off, and I'm in a bit of a rush because I got a lot to do today. So, with that said, look at this. Off the CNC. Perfection. That's one thing about CNC. You couldn't do the reversible edge without some kind of CNC. I don't think could it be done? Not the round over part. You'd be struggling. You could do it straight. But with that said, I'm lucky I have a CNC. Now I'm going to put the first drop of oil on this. This is what I'm using. And then I'm going to use shellac. And I want to show something here, because there's a lot of wives' tales out there. This one is a traditional. It's going to give a little bit of a finish. Now, this I'm going to give it 2 coats max. That's it. I just want it sealed. I want to fill some of the pores, and then I can put grain filler in there on top of the shellac. You can't do that with a lot of other coats. They'll peel off. Now look at what this says. Guaranteed under all finishes. I mean, this stuff's been around a long time. I hear stuff, well, there's wax in it, there's this, it's that. You rough up in between coats and create a mechanical bond, you won't have trouble. All right, so let's move on. This, and you'll see why I'm using it. Now here, first bit. That's my first coat. See a little bit of shiny there. And when you start seeing the grain starting to pop. Now what was great about these 3 sheets, they were all rotary cut book mats from the same log. All right. And I'm very happy with that. And you always start seeing the depth. Like when I go here, it looks different. When I go here, and that's what I'm trying to bring out. I want to look at this table, see how alive the wood is. And the other thing too, was one interesting comment a while ago, and somebody brought it up, and I didn't really realize, but I know it's true. For walnut only has a lifespan of 150 years. After that, tree will rot and fall down in the woods and eventually turn into dust and fertilize the forest. But us harvesting it and making things that last 100, 300 years, so it's kind of cool how good stuff can last a long time. That's just my thought. So now I've started milling my white oak. It's gonna go in this little groove. I'm about a 1/2 inch over, which was what I did the other table. Now I'm thinking, should I go full 3/4 with that edge? Because I'm liking this edge. I think 3/4, but I don't want to dig into anybody's elbows. It's only really just to stop plates from sliding. I mean, it's more than that. I mean, you know, I don't think you're sitting at the galley, you know. So that's the dilemma, eh? Sometimes you do stuff. But the wood was, oh man. I didn't take a video of it, but I'll show you here. This blade really kicked ass. You know, just cut it smooth. A little bit of burn, that's on me. Stopping. But, you know, very decent. Very nice. Felt very, very safe. So, if, you know, the thing is, if you do get a saw, try to get one with the horsepower. I know there's the Sure Stop, or the Moneymaker saw, as they call it. And a lot of sometimes those you're paying a lot. I would rather have more horsepower than a gimmick. I know that could save your fingers, but I haven't known anybody get their fingers cut off, so I didn't know it was an issue. You know, using these, you know, keep my fingers away. There's no way I'd put my hand and go like that and push it through. So, you know, take it what you will. As they say, listen to the older woodworkers. Yeah. So I'm hopping. Like I'm kind of like building, finishing, and getting this job done. This is the edge. Now what I've done is just dry fit it, lay it out, and measured to make sure that this thing fits here, because it's got to drop in. There can't be any ifs, ands, or buts on this thing. So what I have found, or maybe I did a 1/2 inch on the outside, 1/2 inch, so I can put stops here, screw in, and keep it. I think I'm going to walk away from it. I'm only about a 1/4 inch on the inside. I'll show you in 1 second. There goes the furnace again. Okay, so I got 26 here. That's with nothing in the middle. Now here, 26.5. So I only have about a 1/4 inch on each side to mill. So I milled it on the CNC. It came out really good. I'm just showing after I cleaned up. I'm skipping a few steps here. It was a little harder. You're kind of holding your breath. You don't want to mistake, and it was hard with the hold downs, but it's done and it fits perfect. Now you can see what I mean. Like you flip it over and it'll fit 100%. And there you go. Nothing will slide off that table. Now I have to do the screws, which is a real pain in the ass. Okay, now I have the final coat. I put satin. Now, if you look around, I still didn't lose that depth, but you can see the absorbs more of the light. Doesn't have that depth of the high gloss, but everything is filled nicely. If you look right down, I have 0 grain. Like there's no texture, so it's easy to wipe. These are the screws. And they kind of go right here. Just kind of, they're not bad, a little snug, which I want, to be honest with you. And you can see right there, lines up beautifully. And let's go see the other one. Right there. All right. So that was a headache with these screws. I mean, you make a mistake with this. I mean, how the heck are you going to hide that? So they'll just be thumb screws. They're about a 1/2 inch too long, right about here. And here it is flipped up, and then flipped up, the exact same thing. We line up. You don't see it because there's no opening, but we will show you in 1 second. Look at that, eh? This one's a little looser, but it sits so nice. And that'll keep it from moving, and I'll put bumpers, and that's it. So it is a cool idea. Like if you see right there with the edge, a plate won't slide. Maybe a cup, you're gonna have to hold that cup. I mean, it definitely, I think it would, tip over. It would probably needed about 4 extra inches. So, but we're okay with that. And the little one, same thing. So if you can see the grain now, it looks very easy at this point, like the matching, but it's not. And if you go right here with the vein, it looks decent. You walk by, you're not looking at a piece of laminate. So thank you for watching. I enjoy all your support. Ask the questions. I'm more than happy to answer. And subscribe. Subscribe. Like I said, the old house is done with a cabinet maker's perspective. So you'll see certain things done, maybe not I don't like to use the word carpenter because I think they're amazing, but a carpenter might not use, and a cabinet maker will be more precise. Yeah, that's the difference. And we know the finishing. We won't go, oh God, I didn't know that went there. So subscribe. I'm on my way out of here. It is friggin', look at this. I got the shop iced in. Look at that, eh? Man, oh man. It doesn't look like it there, but it's monster wind. I couldn't get down to the house today because we got snow coming, blowing snow. So, not a nice day. Thank you. Bye.